'Twas the night before Christmas, through the cold winter air, not a creature was snoring, not even a bear.
The stockings were hung inside his cave with care, in hopes that his wolf friend soon would be there.
The wolf and the bear staying warm in their cave, burning their pie in the beat-up microwave.
The bear in his sweater and the wolf in his PJs anxiously awaited for their package delays. When out of the cave, the wolf heard a noise, and he sprung up from the couch along with his homeboy.
Into the woods, out past the old cabin, they opened their mailbox, but how could this happen? The deep dark abyss that was their empty bin left them both questioning just what could have been.
Then just up above them brought the two to tears, a miniature sleigh and some big-ass reindeers.
With a sack full of presents that sat in the back, the two had an inkling, it must be Saint Shack.
As fast as a deer being chased by a hunter, he exclaimed from his sleigh with jolly good grandeur.
Now Troyer, now Schneider, now Dinklage and DeVito, on Davis, on Cruz, on Wee Man and Al Pacino.
A cackling and rustling was made atop their roof, the big-ass reindeer clomping with their tiny-ass hooves. Sprinting back into the cave and hiding behind their couch, Saint Shack fell down the chimney and with a deep voice said, "Ouch."
He had on a red coat that clearly didn't fit. The seams of his clothes had started to split. His eyes, how they glimmered, his dimples, how hefty. His cheeks were like baseballs, his nose like a yeti.
And his extremely large mouth was like that of a hippo, and the beard of his chin reached down to his elbow.
He had a broad face and a hulking-like body that shook the ground as he walked like an earthquake or tsunami.
He said not a thing, dropping the gifts by the tree, which made the bear and the wolf get antsy with glee.
Then sticking his finger inside of his nose, he smiled at them and broke the roof as they rose.
He jumped into the sleigh, scaring the out of his team, and away they all flew, as though it were a dream.
But they heard Shack say, as he flew out of sight,
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Welcome back to the Woodsmen podcast, and Merry Christmas. We're your hosts, Joey Rucker
And Brent Murphy.
Oh. We're on a new setup today. We're trying out multicam, as you can see, everybody. Hopefully that'll be kind of fun for you guys to enjoy.
And hopefully it stays on for the duration of the podcast. Because,
Yes.
Today we've had quite a bit of stuff
It's
happen.
been quite a roller coaster of a setup.
We are recording now at 1:06 p.m. I won't say the date, but we were supposed to get here at 9:30.
Yeah,
Or like 9:30, have it set up by 10, record at 10:15. We just started recording at 1, so it's.
But we're here.
We're here.
We're doing it. We're gonna get this done.
We're queer.
We're queer.
Yeah.
So yes, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. We are wanting to do a Christmas special episode for you guys where we kind of dive deep into some of Christmas's traditions, Christmas lore, the origins of it all, and hopefully you guys find as much entertainment out of it as we do, researching some of this information,
Yeah, no, this has probably been one of the most research-heavy episodes I think we have recorded.
The only one that comes close to it is the Alien episode,
but it hasn't even gotten released yet.
No, you technically
that we know.
that we know of. Honestly,
we honestly have no idea. So I guess that's some good housekeeping when you really think about it. So I guess we'll just go off of what we're doing. Our original goal was 10 episodes.
And at this point, I don't know what's going to happen, but
we're hoping for 5.
Now my goal is, personally, just to get some episodes posted
just to get
for
the
new
Christmas
year.
Episode out
at
this
the
point.
very least. Yeah.
Man. But, we've had a crazy year, so, it makes sense. We had, 7 episodes done. And then my laptop got stolen.
Yeah, we had a lot. We would have been in maybe episode 20-ish now.
This would be like at least 15.
Mm-hmm.
At least 15.
At least.
So it's been a crazy time. But since it is Christmas, I guess we'll catch up. It's been a while since we have.
It's been quite a minute since, we've done this, but I don't know. How has life been? Have you had anything like crazy go on since I mean, Christmas just passed for us.
This is
So,
true, but for you guys, this is Christmas whatever year you're
yeah, Merry
listening.
Christmas.
So Merry Christmas whatever year you're listening to your local podcast, fam.
Exactly.
You know? But it's been pretty good, dude. I've just been working, just finishing school. Oh my god, dude. That was wild. I mean, when you're in school for things like this, it's pretty cool, but like damn, it was crazy. This semester was a hard one. I will be on TV though, so that's cool. But
Ooh.
I will. My new segment.
Do you know when that's gonna happen?
Well, I'm actually gonna be on. So this is good for everybody. This is like first information for everybody. I'm gonna be on TV not once but twice. Two times, bro. 2 times. So. Yeah, let's not focus on my face. Let's not focus on how bad I sound or mess up because it was rough. It was a rough couple semesters. But we're doing the thing, man. Yeah, no, I recorded a new segment that will be on
Which I saw, which I actually thought was very well done. I thought like the quality, the writing, everything was really good.
That's a lot coming from you because I had to do the entire thing myself and not okay. Not okay in the slightest, but we're here. We're doing it. We're doing it. So
I think the biggest update for my life, I guess, would be that I am now I got a full-time job. That's probably like the biggest thing. I started working. I don't know if I should say it on the podcast. Maybe
working
not
for like a couple months, right?
But I've been working there since like April or May, and around November, like December 3rd, I got asked to come in full time, and so like I've been doing that for a little bit now. And
hell yeah, dude! Now the ultimate goal is by 2026. I'm gonna give us 2 years or 3 years? 3 years? 3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Well, no, 2 years, but like starting next year, like in a couple days, it'll be 2 years.
Okay, so 2026, maybe you'll even quit that job and we've podcasting full time. You never know, dude.
I would. I mean, I love my job. I do. It's fun. Like I'm an audio-visual technician, so I get to do some of this stuff now.
Yeah, but like that job if you get to podcast, right?
If I get to like just stop and do this with you and like make money from it and like make it a career, like I would totally hands down give that a try. Like it would be really cool to do.
I think I think that's a great goal. I think that gives us enough time to like, maybe get some sponsors like coming our way, like 2 years, 2 to 3 years. Like I think that's a realistic goal, you know? We just got to stay on it because, right now, by the time this episode is posted, we'll have maybe, hopefully, promise to ourselves 5 episodes.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, but it's a promise to ourselves. It's not a promise to you guys because, we're probably going to fuck it up. But yeah, 5 episodes.
No, and I think for 2024 specifically, like I think for our setup wise, because we're getting to a point compared to the first episode that we did. I mean, especially comparing it to those first 2 Discord episodes, but like comparing it especially to like our first real episodes, we have so many more things now that are making it more realistic and like higher quality. I think for 2024, by the end of the year, if we could get at least 2 actual cameras, because then I feel like our setup would just be relatively complete at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we can still get switchers and stuff, but, like, as far as base level shit that is actually good, high-quality stuff, like, getting cameras by the end of 2024 would be really cool.
I mean, honestly, I think it's achievable. I just think, setting goals is probably going to be the highest, like, the utmost priority for us, because I think we have a habit of having big-ass dreams. And then we just, do like what we did today. And it's like, oh, shit, this is way harder than we thought it was going to be.
I hope you're looking forward to the New Year's episode, because our New Year's episode, I'm planning on bringing a list of everything we said we wanted to do for 2023 and everything we definitely didn't do for 2023.
So, like, you mean everything?
I don't know, like, if I'll get every list, but I actually, like, have a time code of, like, one of our previous episodes.
Oh,
like,
that's tragic.
So that I know when We talked about what we wanted to complete. I mean, I already have a little list going, but
We haven't completed like majority of that list.
none.
Like 90%
I
of that
mean,
list.
the only thing that we've completed is that we wanted to keep podcasting. Like
I
that's
mean, I
all
guess
we
we're
really
doing
did.
it. We haven't put out any episodes yet as of right now. Our goal this year, listen guys, our goal this year is to put out an episode maybe once a week. That's
Hopefully,
and that's pushing it.
I think at the very, very least, we can do once a month, but we need to really try and do like once a week because
yeah.
it'll keep us in tune with this. It'll be fun to do. We'll have so much to talk about, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when holidays come up, I totally understand taking a couple weeks out, like 2 weeks or something versus like
Yeah.
1 weeker, but I think we could do it. I mean, what? An episode a week, 52 weeks. I mean, 52 episodes, you know, give or take like maybe five episodes. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get around the 45 to 50 episode range within the first like year being out, I think we have a chance. We have a chance to do something cool.
My throat made a weird noise. Sorry
I know.
about
I was
that.
going to say, like, you just kind of died over there a little bit. Go.
Well, that's enough of us, you know, going on and on about the podcast. We do that in almost every episode
Every
that
single
we
episode.
talk about.
Yeah,
but,
you guys are probably sick of hearing our voices, to be honest.
yeah. But today is all about Christmas and the festivities of it all and the holidays. And so one thing that we wanted to talk about is traditions that we do, you know,
Yeah.
Christmas traditions. I don't know how many people out there, if you guys have your own Christmas traditions. I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, but even like for the holidays or the winter season, like there's usually a lot of things that people like to do together with their families or friends. And so like we brought to the table a couple that we like to do with our families and friends, and maybe some things that we'd like to start. So
Yeah. It's a good time, and like honestly, like we're a pretty inclusive podcast. So if you celebrate Kwanzaa or well, that's about it. That's about
Hanukkah?
all that. Yeah, Hanukkah. Those are about the only two I know.
That's
That's the only other two I know. That's cool. We don't celebrate that.
That's great.
So we know nothing actually about your guys' holiday, but we know a lot about Christmas, I guess. I would say we know quite a bit about Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think we've learned quite a bit of stuff just from researching the stuff we have today.
Oh,
so.
absolutely. But we've grown up. When we've talked about this before, we grew up in a Christian environment. So like,
Yeah,
the
so we have
idea
the
of
watered
Christmas,
down.
yeah,
We have the watered down.
we've
Christian
always had
Christmas.
like a Christmas season go on in our neck of the woods.
Yeah, and I mean, like for anybody, honestly, like especially Christians too. Christmas didn't start as a Christian holiday. Let's get that like very, we got to get that clear. Like historically, Christmas was not a thing as far as like Christianity for a while. Like pagan, like there's been a lot of pagan traditions with Christmas. There have been a lot of, think of like Vikings and all that kind of stuff, I would say. Think about those fools. Like they live in cold ass areas and shit. Like, winter for them, they were like, dude, I'm gonna die. Their winters were terrifying, but we're not saying that Christmas is, I guess, like specifically a Christian holiday or anything like that. You can choose to celebrate if you believe in Jesus and all that kind of stuff. You can choose to celebrate Jesus' birth any time of the year. Honestly,
yeah, but it's like you're saying, a lot of the traditions of Christmas don't actually like stem from the birth of Jesus Christ. Like a lot of, and I was finding that out a little bit in my research, and I'll get into that like a little later. But like, there's a lot of different cultures that did a lot of like stereotypical Christian things. Or not Christian, sorry,
I guess
Christmas
like,
things.
Yeah, stuff that we had like basically took and kind of made our own. We were like, that's
gift
cool.
giving,
I'm gonna
the
take
snow. Like we always think like, oh, that's just Christmas. That's like Christianity. Like no, no.
Yeah, there's so much more to Christmas than I think you're led to believe, at least in a Christian environment. I don't know how it's like in any other, if you believe in anything, period. I don't know how Christmas goes for, I guess atheists or any other kind of religion. I mean, but yeah, Christianity really kind of just took the reins with Christmas. And for anyone that knows, there's a lot of pagan like traditions with that Christians were like, well, if we want to get the point of Christianity across, I guess we're just gonna have to adapt it, and take things like like drinking at the holidays and all that. Like, oh, normally that's a no, but if you want to get people involved and you want people to buy into Christianity and all that, like, you're gonna want to accept some of those, few traditions. And so I guess that's part of like what we're talking about right now. So, what are some, like, I guess, family traditions you guys?
Some of my family traditions are definitely like some of them are like understandable. Like an easy one that I think actually a lot of families probably do is like an advent calendar. Every year we have the whole count down the days of 25 days of Christmas.
I've actually never done that.
Have you never done it?
No. Okay, so when I was young, we had, at least in my grandma's house, that was a while ago, before I was like 10, pre-10 years old. She would have like a thing where I guess like every day of December, you would get a small gift. But it wasn't really like because your family, you guys kind of do like you guys have a Christmas question or...
Yeah, it kind of developed into that. Originally, it was just that we had a calendar when I was young, and we would put, like, for our family specifically, we always, like, love the Christmas peanut M&Ms. That's just, like, our tradition. We have to have those peanut M&Ms, the red and green ones. But we used to just take them out and eat them for the day, and then progressively over time, we, like, started doing, like, every day we have to have a different question or a game or, like, a thought-provoking thing. But it's all related to Christmas. Like, what's your favorite Christmas song? What's your favorite Christmas movie? Stuff like that.
That makes sense. So what is probably your favorite Christmas movie then?
Oh, damn, you can't ask me that, man.
No, and you can only give one.
Only one?
Only one. You can't have any other runner-ups. You just have to choose one. What's your last Christmas movie?
Oh, man, that is so hard.
You got 5 seconds. 3, 1.
God, I guess.
Choose.
Oh, I can't.
Choose now.
Can you choose? How do you?
Christmas Vacation
you
or
have
Just
Christmas
Friends?
Vacation, that's right.
Just Friends probably is higher on the list than Christmas Vacation.
Really? Just Friends?
It's Ryan Reynolds.
I know,
buddy.
it's Ryan Reynolds.
Dude, I love that movie, bro. Like, I'd probably kill for Ryan.
I would definitely
I'd probably kill for Ryan. Like, if I had to, like, that's... Yeah.
I guess I'll have to go... I don't know. I guess... Dude, I don't know. I watched so many...
A Christmas Story.
No, I have it. My favorite all-time...
And it can't be Shrek.
It's not Shrek.
Okay.
It's not Shrek. My favorite all-time Christmas... I was like, I know I have one. I just couldn't think of it. Is definitely the Disney Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. The animated, like and here's why.
Okay.
Of all of because there are so many Christmas Carol adaptations these days.
Well, yeah.
Too many.
Yeah.
And that one, I remember reading the book in school, like in like what, 6th grade.
Yeah, we both did. Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, this movie is like hands down the most accurate representation of everything we read. Like little details like the Ghost of Christmas Past doing like a dance in front of like Ebenezer, and no one ever includes that in the other iterations, but there's a scene where the candle dude just starts wigging out,
popping off, man.
And I don't know, it's just like I can remember reading some of the phrases that Ebenezer would say. And oh God, sorry, I'm geeking out. But yes, that's my definite favorite Christmas one.
That's actually funny you say that. This year, actually, like probably maybe 2 days before Christmas Eve, I had found a new version of the Christmas Carol. And it's live action. And it is like...
It's not the Ryan Reynolds.
No.
Okay, because
no,
he just
Spirited?
made Spirited.
No. It came out 2019. I can't remember the name of the person, but they're like pretty famous people, like actually acting in it. And it's not as accurate as the book. I will admit that, but the ghosts within A Christmas Carol was like unmatched. Like it was actually
Really?
like I genuinely liked it more than the Jim Carrey one, and that was originally my favorite rendition of the Christmas Carol. But They made Scrooge's sister the ghost of Christmas present.
Oh.
Yeah. And the ghost of Christmas past would switch into people from his past to get his point across.
And this was a live action?
Yes.
Oh, that's actually really an interesting concept.
Yeah. So like his boss, his first boss, like in the past or whatever, when he was working for the newspaper printing company and everything, with him and Jacob when they were both still alive, and they had the big old Christmas party. Fezziwig? Was it Fezziwig?
Fezziwig.
Okay, so the ghost came to him as Fezziwig, and the ghost also came to him as his father, and the ghost also came, because he had like all of his like crazy stuff with his parents, like being like, brought to the boarding school, doesn't come home for Christmas, all that stuff. So the ghost showed up originally as his father, and it's supposed to be like an abusive father situation. He's like, please, anyone but him, please, like don't come to me like him. And it gets the point across of the film so much better than I think like the Jim Carrey one, only because it makes it so personal. It makes it very like, oh shit, like I couldn't imagine if that was me, someone coming up out of my life that is now dead, to get their point across of like, dude, you're fucking up, and if you don't stop, you're done. You're gonna go. Yeah.
But that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen or heard anything of that movie.
No, and I had never seen or heard anything of it either. But it was on Hulu, and I was like, "What the heck? What is that?" Like that's it, because the thumbnail was the Ghost of Christmas Future, and I was like, "Oh, I'm interested." Like especially if it's a live action. Like I'm interested.
Yeah, I think the first movie, or like the only newer aged Christmas Carol movie I've seen was like, or I haven't seen it because it looked ridiculous. But it was another animated movie, but it was like from one of those like not name brand studios, and it was just like, and it was a musical, and I was like, I can't do this.
We don't, nah, I don't do musical. At least for something
Depends
like
on the
that.
musical for me. At least
for something
but
like
I can't really.
It's very dialogue heavy. I mean, it's written as a play almost, so you kind of have to have the dialogue way more than you have to have someone singing some songs that don't really make any sense, But that's not even where we're at in our list, by the way. We just trailed off
just trailed
completely.
off.
But I mean, so you do the Advent calendar.
I do the Advent.
I know your family watches Polar Express.
I do watch Polar Express. We have a very specific, and I don't even know how much I've talked to you about it. Maybe I've mentioned it once or twice. But one of our biggest traditions, because we literally, I don't remember a year we haven't done it, is whenever we watch the Polar Express, there's a scene in that movie where the conductor has all the kids sit down, and then he goes and he gets the hot chocolate.
Yeah, the hot chocolate.
And then everybody's like, there's like that whole choir of kitchen workers who are dancing and making ghost tables. It's really odd, but they're all singing and dancing to the whole like, it's hot chocolate, blah blah blah. And so for our family, every time that scene comes on, if we're not ready, most of the time we're ready, but even if we're not ready, we'll pause the movie. We'll go make hot chocolate for everybody, and then we'll play the movie. And when the song starts, we'll all just like dance around the living room with our hot chocolate. It's really like,
bro, that's cool though. Honestly, like, I mean, coming from a person who like, I'm an only child. My mom's an only child. My grandma's an only child. I have no family, right? Like bottom line, as far as like holidays go, we don't really do much. I mean, we do the stereotypical, we'll eat special food, I guess, and at least with Christmas, we open presents and all that. But like, really, like, as far as making tradition, the only tradition we make is like watch Christmas Vacation, like that. I mean, that's probably like our only tradition we actually do. So it's like, it's very interesting to see other people who like do have more family and stuff, where they really do make a whole spectacle out of the whole holiday,
I remember we talked about it a couple years ago, but me and Isaac next Christmas definitely have to just get you on a kick of like going through all of the classic Christmas movies. Just like,
bro,
and just hang it. Like, I just want you to have, because like, I know you have like that kind of same thing where it's like you don't do as much of those kind of Christmas traditions, but it would be fun to like,
It'd be cool to have one Christmas where it just felt like I had brothers on Christmas. Like, I know how sad that sounds,
Saddest
but
thing
like,
you've ever said.
I mean, yeah, but like,
I'm not even trying to make a scene out of it. That's just so sad. It would just be nice to have brothers on Christmas. Oh my god.
listen, man, listen. It's really not that bad. I mean, it's bad, but like, it's not that. Nah,
my
but
God.
like,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to know what it's like to have siblings, like, on Christmas. You know, like, the whole, like, waking you up early as in the morning, just like, it's Christmas, presents. Like, dude, like, I've never had that. It's just like I wake up at whatever time I feel like waking up, and I'm like, you guys ready to open presents? No? All right, cool. Like, I guess I'll wait, you know?
But
Yeah,
you were telling me that one of your traditions, isn't it, that you like open presents on Christmas Eve?
Yeah. So I live in a Spanish household, even though I'm white, you know, and we do a lot of tradition as far as like, cause I think it's maybe like a cultural thing. Like, I know a lot more people with like bigger families and stuff that are like of Spanish descent or like Mexican descent. They celebrate Christmas like pretty much on Christmas Eve. You know, they open all the presents on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
They all just party, have fun, like have a good time. I think we kind of just took that because when I grew up, like my Christmas tradition growing up was going to the movies on Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. So because again, we're going back into the sad times, but my dad used to like pretty much ruin Christmas for me. So anytime we would like open presents or something on Christmas or like anything of that nature, it was always a drag or like always I'm trying to do something else, or you know, like we know my dad. We're not gonna discuss that on the podcast, but you know, yeah, that guy. No, but I think my mom kind of started her own tradition with me where it was just like, hey, like, since he's being an asshole, you want to go to the movies? So every Christmas, instead of opening presents on Christmas, we ended up switching it and ended up opening presents on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day, instead of staying home, I would go to the movies.
I mean, like, even though it's kind of born from a sad event in your life, I mean, that's kind of a fun.
No, yeah, it was a cool tradition. I mean, we used to do it like quite a bit. I think for probably the past 2 years we haven't done that, just because it's been like, oh, well, it's just us, so we just, me and my mom and grandma, we just chill.
Do you guys still watch like movies together and
stuff? Yeah. So I mean, I try and watch movies throughout all of December. I don't try and like, all right, let's squeeze in every single Christmas movie ever in 2 days. Like, I'm not that kind of guy. So I probably watch a Christmas movie like every other day in the month of December. But our Christmas tradition is Christmas Vacation, the one with Chevy Chase and yeah, going crazy. That's probably like one of my favorite like iconic movies.
I think it was with you. Yeah.
I've watched that movie 3 times already this December specifically.
I think I've watched it maybe 7 times in my life. But I mean,
yeah, that's some light.
Is that light for you?
That's some light, bro. I've probably seen that movie probably like 15 times, 20.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, I pretty much only watch it during Christmas time. So I mean, that's like 20 years out of my 23 years of life. Yeah. That's quite a bit of.
No, but I mean, that's interesting because I've never opened the Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve, but I definitely, like, what my family usually does on Christmas Eve is we just open one gift instead. Like, we don't do the whole open it all, but we do open one gift.
Is it normally like pajamas or something?
I mean, it depends on which one you open. I remember one year I opened...
Oh, so you get to choose.
Yeah, you get to choose any gift under the tree, but you just choose which one you want, but you can only choose one. So, like, that's always... When you were a kid, you were always like, I want the biggest bag. I'm going to pick the biggest present. And now I'm like, as I get older, I'll just pick whatever's there. Because, like, either way, I'm going to get it all. And I kind of like the surprise on Christmas Day, but...
That's so interesting to me because I just... even when I was younger and we did open just like a few things on Christmas Eve, like I still was opening like maybe 5 or 6 presents. Like I wasn't.
Really?
But I mean, it's also different too. I mean, you grew up with 3 siblings. Like I grew
That's
up
true.
with
That's
just
true.
me, you know. So it is. People always say like, "Oh, you're just spoiled." Like it's not really. Like my parents are just buying for 3 kids, but for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
you know, like it's
No,
not
that
really
makes
any.
sense.
It's not really any different. Like yeah, I get better.
That's why you were the rich kid when we were kids.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like everyone thought like we had money. It's like, no, dude. I mean, when you only have 1 kid, I can get better things.
Yeah.
Like straight
No, I
up.
mean the
Like
math adds up. Math
yeah,
adds up.
it's the same price. I mean, if you're gonna spend like $1,000 on your kids for Christmas, and you got 4 kids, that's way different than having 1 kid spending $1,000 on Christmas. Then I just
Yeah.
get all $1,000 worth of stuff, you
Mhm.
know. So it's completely different story.
Did I tell you the last gift that I haven't gotten from Santa?
Is it your car?
No.
Oh,
That was a graduation gift that
Could
I
you
just
imagine-
haven't cashed in yet.
but like for real, could you imagine if they like gave you the car without using your bonds and you'd had all that money left over?
Dude, I would lose my mind. They would never let me use it on stupid. I would totally use it on like cameras and lights and.
I feel that's
and-
not stupid though. That's literally
it would
something
still
for your
take some
career.
convincing. It would still take some convincing, and which is weird because like legally, it's mine. So
That's what I mean. It's your
I guess
money,
that's-
bro.
That's true.
It's your money.
It's my money.
Yeah.
No, but the last gift that I'm getting that I haven't gotten yet apparently is a brand new door for my room.
Bro, finally.
Thank God, bro. Like for those
Yeah.
of you who don't know, I have a sliding door with no lock on it, and now lately the sliding door just doesn't work.
No. Joey's not even describing that accurate enough. Joey's sliding door has not been slidable for years, yet this fool somehow still tells me I'm doing it wrong.
Because
Yet-
of all the people, I know how to do it.
You're the only person that knows how to do it. You're the only
I don't
one.
know how. I don't know how.
There's no other way, bro. Like you just have to be the only person opening the door. Like
I've got the magic touch, man. I've got the magic touch.
you know what, bro? You're about to get the cheese touch if you don't stop, bro. Oh man. Well, you know, so you open presents on, you know, on Christmas, whatever. You open 1 gift. You know, we also have an outline this time, so I'm actually reading off of what we're doing.
Because we're professionals.
But you know, oh, okay. I got 1 left before we move on.
Okay.
What do you guys normally eat on Christmas? Like, what do you guys have a staple food that you like pretty much always have Christmas Eve, or do you guys like switch it up? Do you guys have special food in general? Do you just eat chicken nuggies? Like,
I mean, we don't. We always go to my grandma's house for food, like afterwards for like real food.
and that's like Christmas.
That's
like
like
actual
yeah, like,
Christmas.
that's like Christmas. But like for like, we do have staple foods, but they're not exactly like foods.
not like main course, but
Yeah,
just like,
like,
we always have this here.
We have
you
so
know?
like in our stockings. I don't know. Do you guys do stockings? At your
Yeah.
house?
Yeah.
We in our stockings we have like set items that have been there literally since I can remember. The weirdest one is bananas. There's always a banana in my stocking, and I guess it was a tradition that my mom had when she was growing up, which is why she does it with us.
Yeah.
But
Oh, cause
like,
she's from Costa Rica.
yeah, like so her dad from Costa Rica and my grandma who I think she's definitely from here, but I don't remember where. Yeah, I guess they would just like put bananas in the stockings and that just carried down to us. But we also have like staple things too. Like there's always a Pez dispenser. There's always a toothbrush. Like it's really odd things.
So knowing you switch your toothbrush out once a year? Yeah.
Well, I probably should. I should just get one of those ones where you can replace like
The head?
the head, you know?
Yeah. So for Christmas, that's actually funny you said that, because for my Christmas present that Ashley got me, she got me a electric toothbrush. Yeah.
Does it have the replaceable
It
end?
does.
Oh, that's cool.
It does have the replaceable head.
Nice.
It's pretty sick. Honestly, bro, like I scored as far as like things that I use on a daily basis that, because, you know, we all have those things where it's like, yo, yeah, I use this constantly, but like, do I justify spending the money on myself to get it? you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I have a lot of face products and everything, like, like washing my face. I got moisturizer, I got all this stuff. Yeah, I definitely
Pretty boy.
I ran out of everything.
Oh, man.
Like 3 months ago, I ran out of everything.
Oh, shit.
Still have not bought it myself. Ashley bought me every single one. She was like, it's been too long and you need to start buying it yourself. She was like, it's ridiculous that you're not buying it for yourself. So, we're doing it. But yeah, no, I got the come up for sure, especially on all my facial products. Because I got to stay pretty for you, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially
for the podcast,
for the pod. Yeah, no,
gotta
dude, I'm
stay
on
pretty
camera.
for the viewers.
I'm on camera, dude. I got, I need my baby skin, bro. But, yeah, it's crazy. So, we came up this year. I also got a PS5, but we're not going to talk about that. But anyways, besides the PS5, so speaking of family traditions, we got a lot of traditions that, we've grown up with and like things that we have done like as a family. But now that you're getting older, we're 23, we're going on 24 next year, which is wild. We have one more year till a quarter life crisis, which is pretty wild when you think about it. But
if we're lucky, I mean, that's quarter life.
I'm about to go through a crisis right now, buddy.
My health, I'm quarter life would be great for me.
Your quarter life crisis should have been at 20, buddy. Maybe 18. So anyway, speaking of quarter life crises, what are some traditions that you would want to start, like with a family, your future family, your future hopefully wife? And
yeah, I totally get you.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, as we said, we did have a outline to help us out for this episode, and I'm only realizing now. You only put one thing. I only put one thing.
You said, you want to know something funny, chat? You want to know something funny?
Like you're in a live stream. You know what's funny, chat? Spam likes in the chat.
Listen, you're making fun of me for that, but but for your outline for family traditions, you put gingerbread. Nothing. Hold on. Nothing else. Not even a sentence. Just gingerbread.
I knew what it meant in my head, so like, and I was gonna put more, but then I totally forgot.
Bro, put
gingerbread. Okay.
So I'm assuming you want to make gingerbread men with your.
I want to do gingerbread houses.
Oh.
But like,
so you don't want to take people that look like Isaac and put them in a room.
What the are you talking about?
Because he's a ginger. You don't.
I don't know how I was supposed to connect those dots.
I mean, he's a ginger.
I got
He looks like a loaf of bread.
Just roasted this fool. He's not even here. Well, no, okay. Since I only have one,
who doesn't even know who Isaac is, they're just like, who's Isaac?
Yeah, you'll know him when you see him.
It's okay.
I'm sure he'll be on this podcast at some point.
Let's just hope we get out of, an episode each week, and maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
then. But no. So I just wanted to do gingerbread houses because when I was a kid, I had never really had the opportunity to do that. Like, we did it once in a while, and I mean, gingerbread men could happen too, but like, I don't really care about gingerbread men. I always loved the feeling of like constructing it, putting it together, making sure it didn't fall over.
So you like going through the hassle and the pain of just every wall coming down every 5 seconds trying to get it to stay.
I mean, I hate that, but the end product is always like, I think that's how I am with a lot of things, like even with art too. Like, I hate drawing sometimes, but seeing that picture when you're done, I love. So I don't know. I think it would be fun to do gingerbread houses with my family, just because I remember as a kid, I always asked to do them, but for some reason they were like, nah. And I was like, okay, we can
they're
have
just like,
bananas in the
"Nah,
stockings,
bro."
but not gingerbread houses.
Yeah, you didn't know, bro. Bananas in the stockings are a staple. Well, I mean,
There
that's
you
pretty
go.
cool.
That's
I
that's
mean,
my
like,
tradition that I'll do eventually. But
having gingerbread houses with the fam. I mean, it's pretty fun. I mean, they weren't gingerbread houses, but they were like cookie houses or whatever for Halloween with Ashley. And it's a fun little like event, I guess, you know? Like it's a fun little thing to do. I don't think that would probably be like one of my staples. Like I don't think my kids need to do that. I just like eating gingerbread, period.
see, but you know what's crazy? I'm not a huge fan of the way gingerbread tastes.
Oh, that's foul.
Like
That's actually foul.
I want to do most of the time when I've done gingerbread cookies or I've done gingerbread houses. I don't usually eat them afterwards.
just
I'm just
not.
like, eh.
Damn, that's actually kind of tragic, bro. That's actually like
Giant glass of milk with it, maybe.
a
But that's
giant
because
glass.
I'm a milk fiend.
Yeah, I was gonna say giant glass of milk in general is gonna get me, bro.
Yeah, let's just
You'll
throw
get
away
me.
the gingerbread
You'll
cookie.
get me to any party if you got milk, bro. But it has to be 2%. It can't be anything but
See,
no.
we
Shut
could-
up with
we
your
could
whole
have-
milk, bro. Shut your mouth.
We could have an argument right now.
Whole milk is dumb.
I just have the zero fat. Is that whole?
Ew.
I have
That's
zero-
the worst one.
That's what my family buys. I understand that because everybody says the same thing. They're always like, "What the is wrong with you?"
Cause zero fat is like the thinnest milk.
I know, but like when it's super cold, like it's still got that milk flavor.
Okay, but imagine thick milk cold.
I love thick milk too, but here's the thing. I think I just like all milk.
I mean, milk is fire. Let's first of all, before we even start, any milk, almond milk, oat milk, regular
Great.
milk, 2%, low fat, all milk, fire. I don't care what anyone else says. Show me the tit on an almond. You should be drinking regular cow milk.
And there are some people who think that's weird. Like they'll
Yeah.
frickin' dump you for drinking milk by itself.
And it's weird too because like I enjoy almond milk. It is not
Yeah,
that
so do I.
It's not that I'm a milk slob. I just like I don't understand why people think that regular cow milk is bad for you. Like that just is so weird to me. But
then you have
this-
weird motherfuckers who drink human milk. Like, have you heard of those people? Oh, there are people
I'm
who
sorry,
literally.
what?
You haven't heard of the? There are people
They
who
aren't
like
children?
not children.
They're
There are
just-
people who like have their significant other just bottle it up for them and they drink it. They're freaks of nature. That's what they are.
So
They'll try and claim that it's like good for your skin and that it's like, you know, good for your mental health or whatever.
so so bros are just milking their girlfriends and then just drinking the milk? I mean, what a turn of events, bro. I mean, if your girl milks you, she just gets brogert, but like
Jesus Christ. You can't say that. That's going in the cold open.
So back to the topics at hand. You know, I got a lot of traditions, but
Tell me the traditions you want to do with your fam.
traditions I want to do with my fam, probably just reading a Christmas Carol, like in general, like
From start to finish?
yeah.
So
I
I was-
mean, not like same day. Let's
Yeah,
get that
but so I
straight.
was gonna
Like,
say, are you gonna? Would it be like a December thing?
maybe like 10 pages a day in December until you're finished with the book. I don't
nice.
even know how long the book is, but
I don't think it's super long.
I don't think
I
it's
don't know
that
if
long.
10 pages would do it, but I honestly don't remember.
I mean, obviously, when I have a family and kids that I worry about, then maybe I'll calculate it. But yeah, maybe just like reading that, because I find it very important. I think there's we have a very big disconnect, I think, with essentially a ghost story. I mean, when you think the whole thing is a ghost story
Mhm.
based around Christmas. And I think we sometimes forget about the fact that Christmas is probably one of the most spiritually active holidays ever. I mean, everyone always thinks, you know, if I were to ask you, like, oh, what's the spookiest holiday? You're going to say fucking Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
Everyone says Halloween. But think about the fact that every winter people did not know if they were going to live or die.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, that is pretty much the gist of it. I mean, it was like, damn, it's getting really cold out. At the time, you were probably, if you were a shepherd or something, you're watching over cattle. You're outside in the cold all the time, and imagine the earth just, if you don't know anything science-wise or able to predict anything like that, just like, damn, it's getting a little chilly out here. And then 2 days later, you're like, it's snowing outside. Like, what are we gonna do? I mean, like, you can't sit there and like watch your cattle in the snow. Like, you would die. You would die out there. You couldn't stay out there.
A lot of people did.
Exactly. Which means, like, it was a very frightening time for people, I think, however many years ago, we haven't had technology for that long. So I mean, think pre-electricity, how scary winter would be.
Just relying on fire.
Yeah, you're literally relying on fire. And I think that's like one of the craziest, things to really think about. And that goes into everything else too. I mean, you go into like pagan traditions. We talked about the Vikings and all that kind of stuff too. I mean, they lived in very harsh climates. You think of like Iceland, Greenland, all that stuff. Like, that is cold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That is cold out there. Those fools probably didn't even know whether or not they would live or die. So I mean, it's crazy when you think about like what it all means when you take the stereotypical Christianity side out of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually look at like the real facts. Like, damn, like there are a lot of people struggling, and that's why Christmas is such a big thing. Even like with traditions like the Yule log, and you got traditions like with wreaths and stuff like that, which we'll go into a little bit later. But with stuff like that, it had nothing to do with a Christianity thing or anything to do with people. It had to do with like, this is our chance to survive. These people were trying to survive. It was not a like, oh, let's have a big old party and open Christmas gifts or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the wreath is actually a symbol of the evergreen tree is the only tree to survive in harsh climates like that. People made wreaths out of evergreen to remind themselves like, hey, we can actually get out of the storm. Like, there are some things that live. It does depend though
on which cultures you look at. I mean, we could go into some of our origins if you want.
Yeah. We have some pretty good origins, by the way, chat. Like, we.
Why are you calling the chat? You know what? From this point on, y'all are chat.
Y'all are chat.
But no, yeah, like, cause I didn't get too much on just pagan origins of Christmas, but something to do with the pagan upbringing of it all is like that. Most people, and we talked about this like pretty close to the beginning of the episode, that a lot of things that we attribute to Christmas really didn't come from Christian or stereotypical or Christmas behavior,
even like any type of religion. Wise, it was really
it's honestly spread out. It's I haven't been switching, but it's been spread out through a bunch of cultures. Like, there's little pieces from like this culture did this and this culture did that, and it kind of just all came together, and now we kind of all just associated with that.
I mean, Christmas is really just the big melting pot that is America. I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, we have taken bits and pieces of every single either religion or belief or thought process, and we've kind of mixed it all into one thing that is Christmas. And I guess the overarching message is the same, but so many people celebrate Christmas for so many different type of reasons that I think we don't normally see in everyday activity, especially here in America.
I found, because like some of them aren't even to do with necessarily worshiping or, gift giving and stuff. Some of them are. But, like, I mean, some of them, like, date back to just, like, the winter solstice.
Yeah.
Just, like, the days, what is it? Like, I think it is, like, December 5th, but it's, instead of that being just what people thought is, oh, this is Christmas, it was, for some people back then, just the shortest day of the year and the longest night.
Yeah.
like that is
And
kind
that's
of
terrifying.
terrifying.
Like, imagine not knowing anything about the calendar that we do now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
those people back then, I don't even think had, oh, it's 2 p.m. No, like people, it was just like, all right, we work when the sun's up and we go to bed when the sun's down. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah.
much the only way people were really keeping time. That and then the seasons, because then you would know it's getting colder. We should probably,
Mm-hmm.
you know, slaughter our animals and everything right now. So then once winter's done, we can go start back up. Because imagine how much it would cost as far as labor, how much it would be to like, oh, you got to go out and feed like 80 sheep,
Yeah. Yeah.
during winter when it's like, all right, let's kill off all of them, but like 10.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a big ass feast so we don't waste all the meat. And then when it gets warmer, we'll go back out and we'll just do the same thing. So it is like actually crazy, like you said. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
really has nothing to do with religion. It's
It
really just
doesn't.
simply based on like
There
how
are
like survival.
Roman and Norse, different versions of like what goes on during the winter times of
Yeah.
December. Like with the Norse one, I thought was interesting because Norse is they usually have celebrations of like burning Yule logs,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like apparently it's in honor or in worship, I guess, or something to the Norse father, or I'm sorry,
The
Father
All
Father
Father.
Yule.
Yeah. Okay.
Father Yule, which is kind of the Norse equivalent of Saint Nick.
Yeah. Well, apparently a lot of people think that Santa Claus, looks wise, was based more off of Odin, the All Father, in Norse mythology, because he's older. He's supposed to be super wise.
Yeah,
long,
yeah, yeah.
long white hair.
I mean, I
long
could see
white
it.
beard.
I could see why they would.
Yeah, and that's funny you bring up the Norse stuff too, because there are actually a lot of things with, you know, it's becoming night way faster, longer nights and everything. You tend to hear things out in the wilderness that you don't normally hear because it's getting dark sooner. You're out.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's just like for us right now. It gets dark at 4:35. By 6 it's pitch black.
Yep.
So you're hearing noises out in the wilderness that you normally would be asleep for.
Oh yeah.
And imagine
yeah.
hearing certain things where you're like, what the was that out there? And, we live in a society right now where everyone wants to just get rid of any type of religion. Like, oh, we know best. This is how we're made. This is what we're doing. When you die, you die. There's nothing else. And then, boom, that's it. So imagine people who lived in a culture that lived and breathed their faith in the gods.
Yeah.
And imagine hearing things you would never normally hear in winter. Like, say you hear, the wind howling or something like crazy throughout, like, the dead trees and everything. Now, if you're in that situation, would you think, oh, that's weird. That's a weird sound. Oh, it's probably the wind. Or would you believe, oh, the All-Father must be, casting out demons that are lurking in the dark, or casting out bad spirits, or, you would think so much more on a spiritual level than we ever would now, because it's been so publicized that, Christmas is just a holiday. There is nothing to fear.
Yeah.
There is nothing. And that goes into our traditions and everything. When we talk about things like Krampus, you talk about things like the Grilla, you talk about, even Saint Nick. All of these things are kind of things that were very much believed in until we've gone into the Western way of thinking, where we're like, we have everything figured out. There is no other spiritual beings that are at work or at play, behind all of this kind of stuff. So it is really interesting when you think, because I think Norse mythology in general, there's so much stuff with that is very that people actually believed in. They actually believed it.
I mean, there are crazy stories. I also found a Roman equivalent of what they would do during the winter time and during the winter solstice, which was that they would have a festival for Saturnalia, I believe is what it's called. It's the god of Saturn.
Okay.
But the thing I find interesting about that festivity was that in this case they actually did go around and have a festival where they gave gifts and they ate food and they did more similar things to where you're like, oh, that's kind of a Christmas thing, And so it's like it's interesting how you have different pieces, like I said, from different cultures where like, oh, Father Yule and Odin, they like represent a lot of what we consider to be Santa Claus,
Exactly.
and the festival of Saturnalia, like, oh, they're just going around giving gifts to people. Like it's all interesting, like
No,
how
yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
it is very like there's just so much stuff with that is just mind blowing,
Yeah.
honestly. Like there are so many like weird traditions and weird like holidays and festivities that you would think by itself separately it would be like, oh, what the hell? Like that's just like a weird thing to like do. And then you sit there and you look back and you're like, damn, we've kind of just taken those same exact things and just made it something completely different.
Yep.
I mean, the giving of gifts. I mean, just like with that in general,
Yeah.
like, well, what are the real reasons why people are giving gifts? I mean, there are even things about Santa Claus, and we had talked about this a long ass time ago. Like, I don't even know if you'll remember that, but we had talked about shamans used to wear all red and go out in the middle of the
I do vaguely
winter,
remember.
and they would
Yeah.
go out and they would gift, well, I mean, shamans, they give shrooms and stuff to like, open up your third eye and lighten all that kind of stuff. And you
Could
think
you
about,
imagine if
but you
Santa
think
Claus
about
came in and just
mushrooms.
gave kids mushrooms? And
I mean, that'd be
presents?
wild. But I mean, like, think about it, bro. Like, the stereotypical mushroom, what color is it?
White.
When you think of what a mushroom,
I usually
think of Minecraft.
white.
Think of Minecraft.
Other mushroom. Oh, red.
Red
Oh
and
yeah,
white.
yeah, red and white. I mean, those are the main ones. Yeah.
All the foliage green. Coming to give people gifts in the middle of winter. I mean, it's all like the same thing, and like, yeah, we don't celebrate any of that, but it all revolves back around the same principle,
Mm-hmm.
So it is very interesting. And something also very interesting, a little fun fact: the Coca-Cola company was actually the one that made the original what we think of as Santa Claus. They were the ones that came up with the big old fat guy in a red suit, puffy cheeks,
What?
all that. Yeah, the Coca-Cola company was the one that created what we think of as Santa Claus.
But I thought
Saint Nick never wore red. Saint Nick wore
no,
animal
I
skins
understand that, but
to keep himself warm in the winter. The Coca-Cola company was the one that went, oh, how do we capitalize on a situation? A situational person. So, okay, let's take Saint Nick. That's talked about in what I'm pretty sure it was Europe. It was European. I don't know if it was maybe a German thing or something, but
what where
where Saint Nicholas.
came from?
Yeah, I can't
He
remember
came from
what. Yeah, I know it was European.
he
but
came from the seaport. He was born at least in the seaport of Patara, which is like modern day Turkey.
Okay, yeah. So he never was the one wearing red or anything like that.
No,
he was
I know that. I just like
just the stereotypical look of Santa
was
actually
Coca-Cola.
was a Coca-Cola thing. And I'm think about the Coca-Cola company. It's red and white. The entire thing. All of it is very
They've always been whack jobs though. Weren't they literally
selling Coke
selling
inside
Coke
the
in
Coca-Cola.
Coke?
Yeah.
Like they come up with some good ideas.
I mean,
Santa Claus and Coke.
how bumpin' was Coca-Cola back
Oh my
in the
God,
18?
can you imagine?
Coca-Cola company was like in the 1800s.
Oh yeah, they're
Like
old.
they're old.
Yeah,
They're old. Like
it's
that
wild.
shit's wild. That shit is
Yeah.
actually insane, bro. But I mean, I guess like moving on from that, we did talk about Saint Nicholas and everything. So like, I know you were looking up Saint Nicholas origins and everything. Do you have anything like different or anything?
I have like just some small facts. I mean nothing crazy, but I mean like interesting stuff. I mean a couple facts I didn't know of. Like I mean he was Saint Nicholas of Myra, like I said, born in Patara, which is like modern day Turkey. But like apparently like he was a saint, so he went around and he was known for blessing people and always being a caretaker and always helping those around him. But like there's this one early legend of Saint Nick, which I was like, I don't, maybe you've heard of this. I didn't hear it, but I haven't heard of this, where he resurrected 3 kids from death, but specifically 3 kids who were murdered and pickled in brine from a butcher who then tried to sell them as pork during a famine. No, I'm not playing Mad Libs. That was a thing that happened. Or that's one of the early legends of this guy. Like, he resurrected these kids who were butchered by someone during a famine and sold as quote unquote pork.
Wait, what?
I know, right? I was like, what? And apparently,
I've
never heard of
never
anything
heard that.
like that. And apparently, there's like other legends of him going and saving. I mean, I don't want to say prostitutes.
Oh man, not the pickled kids.
Pickled kids, yeah.
I wonder how good that would taste.
What the?
Well, he was selling them as pork.
It
Was it
wasn't
good at
It
least?
wasn't pork though.
Was it good though? Or well, he resurrected them. So like,
Yeah.
did they come out of the people's body
Dude,
that ate them?
I don't know. I didn't do full research. I'll come back to you on another episode of what happened to these kids he resurrected.
Damn, that's just crazy.
But I think I didn't have a lot of time to do too much research, but I also thought it was interesting to know like when the idea of Saint Nicholas, and the culture of it all sort of started making its way into America, and
Yeah.
why we started or at least how we were introduced to it. And from what I can find, like one of the first times we were actually introduced to Saint Nicholas himself, or Sinterklaas. Sinterklaas, which was a shortened version of Saint Nicholas.
Makes sense.
Which is also, by the way, interesting. Sinterklaas, being the shortened version, was why his name sort of slowly adapted
To
into Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But no, the first time that it kind of made its way into America was through like a New York newspaper in 1773, because there was a
Really?
story of like a Dutch family in America celebrating his death. I believe, I could be wrong, I believe he died on December 6th
Okay.
of a year.
Of a year.
Of a year. I should have done a little more research.
Well,
But
that's funny that he would have died on the 6th, because I think the 5th is when it is said that him, along with Krampus, come into towns to either deliver
Krampus is
presents
interesting,
to the
too.
good boys and good girls, or you get beat by sticks by Krampus.
yes,
So,
please tell me more about Krampus and some of his.
Dude, of course, brethren. Let me pull this up right now. So Krampus's origin story is pretty insane. He is believed to have originated as a Germanic, I guess, folklore legend. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he is the devilish companion of Saint Nicholas. Contrary to popular belief, people think he's separate, but in Germanic folklore, he's actually supposed to come with Saint Nicholas.
What? I never knew that.
And that he is supposed to be the punishment for naughty boys and girls.
Oh, so not like hole in the stockings,
No.
like he
No,
was gonna
so
just
the original
whack.
punishment was this fool was supposed to be like, you guys are being naughty. I'm gonna hit you with some fucking sticks.
You shouldn't have pulled your sister's hair that time.
Yep.
Whack!
Yep. Now, there are also some instances where they say in some cases he is said to eat them or take them to hell.
Interesting.
Into his little basket that he has on his back.
So Santa has the bag and he has the basket.
Mm-hmm. And while Santa carries presents, Krampus carries kids.
So is there like a origin of if the people who believe in Krampus, do they believe he came from somewhere or had an upbringing of some kind?
Well, there are apparently a lot of Christmas deities, as far as like scary ghouls, and that's part of why with traditions I think it's so important to keep the ghost story aspect alive with your children. I mean, Christmas originally, as a tradition, people used to tell ghost stories by the fire and ghost stories by the fireplace and everything until very recent, when it's come into popular culture, where we have gotten rid of the bad and have only associated Christmas with the good.
Oh yeah, no.
Originally, Christmas and winter and the winter solstice was really all bad or scary fucking spirits. Like always. That's always what it was until it became a Western thing over here, where it was like, oh, it's all about presents and capitalization on presents and Santa Claus and all the good in the world.
Yeah.
Christmas stemmed from the bad, and every other culture celebrates it besides us.
You know what I realized? For this topic alone, we have our cameras perfect for that idea of keeping the spooky with the Christmas, because
Oh yeah, because we
you got
have
like
the.
your Christmas vibe going on, and I've got like the Halloween vibe
That's
going
right.
on. It's
That's right.
spooky Christmas. No, that's interesting. Like
The Nightmare Before
the
Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
Also, is that a Christmas movie or a
It's
Halloween?
both.
I don't know.
It's a literally both.
I don't know. It's like the thing is he wants Christmas.
He wants Christmas, but Christmas
He
didn't
literally
want
gives
him.
up. He quits his job so he can be Christmas.
Saint Nick didn't like it.
Saint Nick didn't do jack.
You're right, because he
He
was
was
stolen.
kidnapped by children.
Because he was stolen.
Saint Nick, Santa Claus, the Father Christmas, was kidnapped by 3 children. What, like?
Fun fact: Santa Claus and Saint Nick used to be thought of as 2 different people, not the same person.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I can't sit here and fact check that for you
Yeah.
because I don't remember where I heard that from, but I just heard recently that they were used to be considered 2 different people. But yeah, also another fun fact, Saint Nick actually was not named a saint by the Catholic Church, and actually the people called him a saint to the point where the
Oh.
Catholic Church was like, I think we should make him a saint. And so they did.
Really?
Yeah. Fun fact.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, from what I could tell, he really seemed like the original guy, the original Saint Nicholas, Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas. Klaus.
He definitely seemed like an upbeat, like, cared for his community type of...
Yeah, no, like he actually was really trying to do the I would assume there's a lot of poor people, a lot of,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
things going on like that. You know, he's probably like the only person out there that's trying to keep the spirit alive, by just being there for kids.
So I see in the notes, you've also put Grilla?
Grilla. Dude, let me tell you about my girl Grilla, bro. Let me actually give you this little crazy story,
I would love
bro.
to hear some stuff about Grilla.
She
It's a
is
she.
not a baddie. I will admit that. She is actually quite scary. But the Smithsonian magazine actually says that that the tales of the ogress. So apparently she's like an ogre, but
interesting.
like a woman ogre.
And this relates to Christmas.
Yes, and there are references to her written down, found in the 13th century.
Oh.
So she's pretty old. She is a pretty old
So what is she?
woman.
Is she worse than Krampus?
Much worse than Krampus.
Really?
Much worse than Krampus. So she is actually an Icelandic folklore person. And so Krampus really kind of scares people. This bitch just murders people, bro. She don't give a fuck. So she normally comes out of the mountains in Iceland.
Okay.
With some helpers, which is
she's got her own elves,
terrifying
elf
of
ogres.
itself, right? So her helpers consist of a big ass black cat, right? It doesn't explain what kind of cat, so I'm assuming maybe a puma or some shit like that, like a big
Maybe
cat,
shadow cat.
maybe a shadow cat. You've had some experiences with some shadow beings, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
But so she comes out with a big old black cat.
Okay.
The cat just murders people who don't have new clothes.
New clothes?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just
So if you're poor,
if you haven't
bro,
gone to Old Navy like that day.
Yeah, if you're poor, bro, then the cat just eats you. So don't be poor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be poor.
What constitutes poor? Just
You don't have new clothes, bro, the cat eats you. That's just it.
does it say like what constitutes how new is new?
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope, just new clothes. Yeah.
Wow.
You get eaten, bro.
That's an interesting folklore.
So you get eaten by the black cat, bro, and he's not even the worst. He's not even the worst.
Great.
So there are actually, including the black cat, there are 15 things that come out, right? You have the Grilla, which is apparently an ogress, very scary looking. You got the black cat. You got 13 little lads.
13 little lads.
Shit you not, that's what the Smithsonian magazine says.
What do the little lads do?
So the little lads are apparently just menaces to society. Like think of like, ah, you rascal. Like, they're just 13 rascals, bro. So they apparently just go around people's houses and they all have their own quirks about them that they. So, like Gremlins? Have you.
I know very little.
You
but
know the
yeah,
movie
yeah.
Gremlins?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how Gremlins just cause a ruckus the whole time they're just doing crazy shit, like turning off street
Like
lights, all
children,
that stuff, right?
or like
Yeah, they're just
mindless little.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
goblins, like little goblins, right? So basically, these fools are the equivalent to little goblins, but they don't like hurt people. They just do dumb shit.
Okay.
Yeah, like they lick your pans.
So we went.
Like if you have dirty pans in your house, bro, like one will just lick them.
So we went from if you don't have a brand new sweater,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be eaten
Mm-hmm.
by a ghost cat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you could also very well just be having your pans licked by
Yeah.
a little dude.
Yeah. But that's not even the best part, bro, because we haven't even gotten to the actual Grilla yet, bro.
That's right. Yes.
So apparently, if you're begging for food during Lent, which I'm pretty sure Lent is a Catholic thing, I would assume.
I believe it is.
So
I
if
could be
you're
wrong,
Lent, I think the whole point is that you have to give up meat, or you have to give up something that you care about.
yeah, it's like taking a break off of something that yeah.
Right. So for like for you it would be like giving up alcohol for a month or some shit, whatever. And then for me it'd be like, oh, giving up like smoking weed, or like giving up, I guess, eating food. Like
It'd be good for one for me.
maybe honestly, like it could be. So apparently during Lent, if you beg for meat, because I guess you're not supposed to eat meat during Lent, as in, and you have to be a child. You can't just be an adult. Like, this is only a child-only tragedy. She'll just carve out your insides, bro, and fill you up with, like, hay.
Hay?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
she just makes you a doll, pretty much, a skin doll. Yeah, she just takes out your innards, bro, and just refills you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And what? This just only happens like near Christmas time?
Apparently,
Is
if you
that,
just
like,
beg
why?
for meat during Lent.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is an Icelandic culture thing, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah. Apparently, people like fear the Grilla, which I personally would be terrified if parents told me that growing up. Could you imagine, instead of Krampus, like, oh, you better be good or else you're going to get beat with some sticks.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, you better be good or else you're going to get your insides taken out and filled with hay. I think I'd be a pretty good kid.
Yeah, I think I'll listen.
I don't think I'm getting cold that year. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I'm going to be a good boy.
I would much rather be a good boy. So, yeah, those are some pretty crazy ass shit.
That's crazy, yeah. That's kind of scary.
I hope you like that one, bro.
That's interesting. I've never in my life heard of Grilla.
Yeah, Grilla's pretty crazy, dude. Like, pretty crazy. And you also had one with tulpas, which are pretty insane as well. I know.
Yeah,
I know you actually didn't really know what tulpas were until
I didn't. It's pretty interesting. It's like from Buddhism. Oh my God. I thought, sorry everyone to totally break the magic, but your screen over there, the thing was moving, and I swear in the corner of my eye, I just thought something was like lifting up, and I was like, what the was that? I don't know, sorry. I scared the absolute shit out of myself just now. Anyway, no, yeah. Sorry. Okay, no, I have a little, insert in. I can't think of the word. Whatever. I have a little thing here. I'm just going to read it because I don't know nothing about tulpas.
I'm just going to read it.
They're kind of a concept that originally were from you say it better than I do. Tibetan Buddhism, and were found in later traditions of mysticism and the paranormal and materialized being or thought form, typically in human form, that is created through spiritual practice and intense concentration. So sort of like manifestation in a way, right?
Yeah, so I guess like the whole point of tulpas are that people can, I guess, concentrate to the point where they physically manifest what they're thinking of.
See, that's wild. Can you imagine if that was like real? Like,
well, people believe it's real. People believe it's real.
True. I guess I've just never had an experience in my own life where
I mean, I guess just imagine. I mean, for us, we can think of it in a Christian sense. I mean, it's the same thing of like everybody put their hands on this person and pray for healing. Now, if you
Oh,
truly
actually,
believe
that's a
that,
good
and a
point.
whole bunch of people believe that, could it manifest healing? Could it
That's oh,
manifest a miracle?
you bring that up, and like, and
And
I
then
really enjoyed that movie, like Jesus Revolution, where like a lot of stuff like that happened, and it actually did happen in
yeah.
real life. Like
Now, if you
when
could have so many people believe in one thing, could you manifest that one thing?
it's the question, right? I mean,
Now, to go into this, because this isn't a creepy podcast, this is a Christmas podcast. There are adults who have claimed that they have seen Santa Claus.
yeah, and like full blown like reindeer sleigh, like they
Red
suit,
beard.
and
Yeah.
they're wholeheartedly believe.
They're like, damn, I actually never believed in Santa Claus until I fucking
So I
saw him.
saw him.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, it could be real. I mean, I don't know if I would say it's real, but the manifestation of what he saw definitely could have some truth to it.
Now, I guess the question would be, if you could tell yourself that you believe that someone could manifest something through how hard they believe in it, where does the thought form go?
Like, where does whatever they manifested go?
Where did Santa Claus go? If indeed it would be a tulpa or something where like you're physically seeing something due to so
Well,
many people at one time believing in Santa Claus.
My theory would be that like, if manifestation is real, then to a certain extent, I think it would be far more spiritual manifestation than it would be like physical manifestation.
Yeah.
So that's not to say that if someone like believed in Santa so hard that Santa became real, that wouldn't happen. Like if that did happen, though, I think what might be the truth of it is that it's maybe just a spirit of some kind that they saw, and so like the reason we don't see them afterwards, or the reason other people don't see it, is because it's just chosen to not be seen by others, or it's just gone somewhere that can't be found after that. Like
Yeah.
that would be my theory.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I can 100% get behind that. I mean,
Because it's a lot for me to believe that like you were like, Santa Claus is coming to town, and then all of a sudden like, ho ho, like
he indeed came to town.
Big Santa boys just like standing in front of you. Hell no.
I think it's more like if everybody in the world at one time believes that Santa Claus is real. Like, imagine getting enough kids at one singular time to believe that Santa Claus is coming to town on Christmas Eve.
It's true, but what would that
Could it
manifestation
manifest?
be? Like, what
And
would they be seeing? What is
be
the physical, like, what is in front of their eyes?
That would be the question. Would you manifest something actually physical? Or would it be, like, I don't know. But, I mean, the fact that there have been, like, actual adults that have claimed they've seen Santa Claus, that's interesting. Because it's one thing saying, oh, as a kid, I had seen Santa. It's a whole other thing being like, I'm 38 years old and I just saw Santa Claus in a fucking sleigh flying. Like, what do you do with that information? Like,
I mean, bringing it sort of into more of our lane of what we like to talk about a lot, would you think that maybe that means that certain alien encounters have just been manifestations of someone who believed so strongly?
I would love to know that answer. I mean, I guess the counter question,
because as someone who you believe, like, I don't think I'm speaking
100% believe in aliens.
You 100% believe in aliens.
Yeah, I know.
Do you
now
think
the belief
certain
is
aliens are just manifestations and some are real? Do you think manifestations are even an option for alien encounters?
Well, that would depend on what you think an alien is.
Interesting.
Because I personally don't know. I
That's a good point,
like
yeah.
I don't know, and we could talk so much about aliens. You already know I'm
absolutely,
all into it. But I mean, we've had disclosure this year from David Grush saying we know that there's something out there, and we got footage, and this man is like a military man. This is a no-nonsense guy, knows what he's talking about, saying, well, we've seen things come out of the water and then fly and then defy gravity and then leave. We don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got to ask yourself, was that physical or is it a spiritual thing? Is it what we think an alien is from another planet, or is it something that is here?
Yeah.
Is it a dimensional being? Is it something that's always here and we just don't see it all the time?
And I almost wonder if, like, extraterrestrial life, again, we don't have to go down this rabbit hole, but
I mean, there are people who think like grays and stuff are robots.
Well, I was going to say,
that they're
I wonder
not physical.
if extraterrestrial life, if true, because I'm still, like, sort of halfway, I guess, kind of now, but if they are real, do you think they have their own Christmases? Do you think they have their own, like, things that if they have enough of generations and generations of their own beings,
like that they would have their own
traditions and things they believe in? Like, what if they believe in a higher power too?
I mean, it would be interesting because that alien book that I'm currently reading, that that I've been reading,
mm-hmm.
For like 6 months now because I can't, follow through with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you believe that the person who's talking to that book, like, they're telling the truth, like this stuff actually happened, he got abducted by aliens, all that stuff, right? I mean, they say they believe in God, and they believe in our God, Jesus Christ, God, like right. Actual God, like. So then you have to ask yourself, well, is there a religious would saying something like that benefit him in a certain situation by saying, oh, in this book I'm going to write about the fact that these like extraterrestrials believe in Jesus Christ. In the 50s when this book was written, where people were way more like one nation under God, like we, type of thing. Or did that actually happen? Is there some sort of higher power that we're not even capable of understanding?
Yeah.
That also believes in what we believe in. That also has, hey, we know you guys know who Jesus Christ is. Yeah, that's real. Like, if that in general was real, if just that book is real, and that shit, like, 100% facts, everything you say, that's someone saying that a power that we don't understand believes in that. So I don't know.
It's a fair answer.
I honestly don't know, bro. Because, I mean, just because you can read an old book doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with our history books. I mean, the person who wins the battle is the one that writes the history. So you don't know how an actual battle went down the way it went. Like, we don't know. Like, you don't. So, I mean, that is the one interesting thing, I think, with the UAP alien phenomena, like all of that kind of stuff. I find that very interesting, but I think if it is real, or if it is like, I guess, an actual physical being from another world, because I have almost kind of distanced myself from that thought process. I honestly don't think if aliens are real that they're coming from another planet. I just don't.
You just think
from
they're
all of the other things that I've listened to and all the other, like, people who've had abduction or contactee experiences.
Kind of like what did they call it in the most recent encounter? Non-human origin, but not extraterrestrial anymore.
I would be more inclined to believe that it could be a spiritual thing or a multi-dimensional thing versus they're coming from another planet and we don't know where and we don't understand what all is good. I would be more inclined to believe that aliens were coming from our ocean than they would be coming from another planet.
I totally would too.
100%. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me that how have we not explored our ocean if we live here?
Yeah.
And you're telling me we got the capabilities to explore space? Doesn't sit right with me, bro. Sorry. I mean, it's the whole thing with the moon landing video, bro. We've talked about it many times. How you gonna tell me you got the technology to go to outer space, but you don't have the technology to go deeper?
That's all the time we have for today.
I mean, no, literally, we could get into conspiracy theories all we want, but this is a Christmas episode. Yeah. Well, all right, man. This has been a pretty good Christmas episode, honestly.
It has.
It has been It's been a while, I feel, since we have kind of sat down and really gotten together and really didn't talk about anything other than the holidays and like family and yeah, dude.
It is. I thought this episode was a lot of fun, especially seeing as how most of our previous holiday episodes got lost in the swipe.
Yeah, I want to talk about it. But want to know what I do want to talk about? Our socials. So you can find me at Strange Kids on pretty much every single platform.
And you can find me at Piemaster J on pretty much every platform as well.
Nice, man. Well, before we leave, we do have, speaking of traditions tonight, a new tradition we're trying to start.
This is true.
Are you ready? Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, sure, I can explain it. So we thought it would be fun to do a tradition where, as you guys know from the intro, we kind of have a little clink sound because, we're alcoholics. But no, we thought it would be fun for us to play a little game at the end of every episode where we try and land a quarter into a glass, and whoever makes it first into the glass gets to pick the topic for the next episode. So that's kind of what we're going to try and do.
In theory, it does sound like it could work. We also don't know because, again, this is the first time we've ever tried it. So, who knows? We might not even just have topics planned, period.
Yeah.
We might just wing it every episode. You never know.
But at the very least, it'll be something fun to do that you can look forward to in every episode.
Yeah, how about you guys just take some polls and, who do you think is going to win this right now?
Yeah. Maybe we can make it a little more competitive in the future, but for now, this is what we got.
Yeah, you got this, chat. This is up to you guys.
So, who do you want to go first?
You know what? I'm House. I would like you to
throw
first. I want you to throw first. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you go ahead and take the cup.
All right, guys. Oh. All right. Now let's see if you guys can see this.
So since I'm breaking the magic here, I'm kind of on camera control, so I'm gonna try and.
Yeah, it's fine. We're breaking the fourth wall right now. You guys don't need to know anything.
So I'm gonna. Oh God, this actually looks way harder.
This is way harder than it. Oh yeah.
Oh, crap.
Man, dude, right in the shoulder. My
hip.
hip.
My hip. All right,
I love the young people.
I love the young. How many times do we gotta tell you, old man?
SpongeBob, classic. All right.
Fire.
You guys ready? I'm about to lob this shit in there. Oh, man,
Nope.
I hit the shoulder.
Almost. All right.
Well, I think we both lost, to be honest. You want to just flip a coin?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to flip or you want me to flip?
Yeah, you can flip, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heads or tails?
I'll call it in there.
All right. Bloop.
I'm a tails man.
It is a tails.
Oh, say less.
I don't know if I can show the cam, but yeah, he got tails.
All right, guys. That means that I'm picking the topic for next episode, and you don't get to know what. So
look forward to it. Please come back and
for the love of God,
definitely
come
watch
back.
it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We have been your hosts, Joey Rucker
and Brent Murphy.
Later, Gators.
Oh man, I forgot to say like and subscribe.
The Woodsmen podcast is co-produced by Brent Murphy and Joey Rucker.
Engineered by Brent Murphy and edited by Joey Rucker.
Additional editing by Brent Murphy and blood, sweat, and tears by the both of us.
Any content by the Woodsmen podcast may not be used without our permission. And remember, if you're naughty, Krampus will beat you with sticks.